And good evening to you from the Storm Alert Weather Center. This is lead forecaster Daniel Wilson. We're here to talk about a little bit about the upcoming weather situation and what we expect to happen tomorrow night as we see another round of rain and potentially snow for some parts of Kentucky. And as we look at some of the graphics that we have that we put together this evening, mainly this is kind of a test run to see how things will begin to be when we have severe weather. We're entering into that season, and we're fired up and we're ready to go for it. And this is kind of a test. So right now we'll take a look at the latest graphics that we have showing where we expect the most snowfall to be. If you notice around the Lake Cumberland, Lake Cumberland and Dale Hollow area, that would be around Russell and Clinton, Cumberland County, Wayne County, you can see it's likely to be mostly rain. We could see a few flakes mixed in with that. It's going to be a cold rain whenever it does fall. And that does continue back to the west a little bit, south of Bowling Green. And again, these areas are simply projected areas of where we think that the most snowfall will happen. Now, as we go into kind of a transition mode, along in western Kentucky, you may see a little bit of a wintry mix, a transition of snow, sleet, maybe some freezing rain. But I think the main threat will be, or the main weather event would be snow areas along and probably pretty well north of the Louis B. Nunn Cumberland Parkway, which we can see about an inch or less along through Casey and Adair, Green and Taylor, and back to the west. And then the farther north you get toward the Kentucky and Indiana state line, you can see that we have between 1 and 3 inches of snow possible in these areas. So that is what we're looking at now as we follow some of the weather models and see how things are expected to fall into place. We will be bringing more weather information to you later tomorrow as we look at additional weather data to see exactly what we expect to happen as we go into the evening hours on Friday evening. So with that being said, we'd like to remind you again, folks, to stay with the Storm Alert Weather Center. Don't forget to like and share our page. Tell people about the video. Tell them about the weather page and what we have to offer here from the Storm Alert Weather Center. We have the new streaming technology or the new streaming program where we can embed different types of graphics. We can even look at the radar, and I think I want to show you real quickly. I want to refresh this. This is kind of give you an idea of what we can expect tomorrow. This is just kind of a rundown. I hadn't actually planned on doing this, but I can bring up the future radar, and this is what it looks like tomorrow evening. And you can see a lot of the precipitation does seem to trend more for the rain in the southern parts. And as we slow that down just a little bit, we have all kinds of time, you could say. As we slow this down just a little bit where you can see what's going on, you can see right in the Russell and Adair County area, a lot of that precipitation begins to fall as rain. And the farther north you get as the system moves through, better chance at snowfall activity. Again, we'll take a look at that again. See how things expected to play out. This is what we kind of have in mind that will happen. You'll have a little bit of a wintry mix over in the western part of the state, and as we continue to go to the east, we will see more snow around and north of the Louisville metro area, and that's basically what we're seeing at the present time, what we can expect. But I think all in all that we do have a pretty good weather system, weather tools and data to give you. We can do a lot of neat things here in the Weather Center. And all of this is made possible by Joe Brown's Auto Body in Columbia. And we're glad to have Joe around. He's been a good friend of mine for a long time, and he and his wife Dana. And we really appreciate everything that he's done. He's been a great friend of mine, and I definitely can't thank him enough for what he has done over the years. Been a good friend, and I do appreciate him. So right now we'll look once again at what we expect to happen. Just a period of mostly rain, a cold rain tomorrow night across the Lake Cumberland area. Can't rule out a few flakes here and there, but I don't see any main concerns. If we go a little bit farther north into Casey County, maybe Greene, Taylor, parts of Adair, we're going to see between 1 inch or less. I don't see a great amount of snow, and then 1 to 3 inches if you're between Lexington, E-Town, and over around the western part of the state, around Evansville, Indiana. That would be the concerns that we would have 1 to 3 inches of snow in that area. We could see some places with a little bit more snow, but all in all, I think this is what we're looking at here in this part of the region. But we'd like to thank everybody for tuning in this evening. And don't forget to like and share our page. We do have a website, stormalertcenter.com. Stormalertcenter.com. You can get the latest temperature in Russell Springs, wind speed, highs and lows for the day. It also has the current watches and warnings on the page. So it's a page dedicated specifically for severe weather and even the local scenes. So if you have, if you want to put that website in, you can. StormAlertCenter.com. Again, it gives the temperature, wind speed, and the highs and lows for both wind and temperature on any particular day, as well as some barometric pressure and the current watches and warnings for this area. So with all that being said, I think it's time to probably wish each and every one of you a good evening. And we thank you so much for tuning in to the Storm Alert Weather Center. Brought to you by Joe Brown's Auto Body in Columbia, 384-0422.